Welcome back to another Titans PIO preseason, in-season, off-season Titan coverage all year round. Let's get into it. And I know it's been a little bit since the last time we did a video. And the reason for that is we had some personal stuff going on, some sickness in the family we had to attend to. So sadly, the videos kind of got pushed back a little bit. All that is taken care of. So from now on, content should be coming out pretty steady this point forward. Regardless of all that stuff, this is a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. I know there's been a lot of stuff happen since the last video I made predicting the upcoming season, and there's a lot of things we could talk about. Cam Ward, the wide receivers, how great everything seems to be going. We could still do some content on the lack of respect Titans are getting, but I want to stay a little bit more positive, and I want to look forward to the future. And so today's video, we're going to look at 3 reasons why I'm actually excited about the upcoming season for the Tennessee Titans. The first reason is Brian Callahan. I know you were probably thinking I was going to say Cam Ward, and we'll hold off on that for a little bit. Look, I know last year was a dumpster fire. Actually, that's an insult to dumpster fires. I don't think nobody, really, even people that didn't like Will Levis, like almost to a point of hatred, nobody really thought we were going to go that bad last year. Like, we thought we might be okay. Some people were saying, it's the year we go to the Super Bowl. Other people were being more realistic, saying we might even make it to a playoff game. I don't think no one thought we were going to be as bad as we were and end up with the #1 draft pick. So the fact that we went as bad as we did last year, losing game after game after game, it's very easy to blame the coach. Coach blaming is so easy to do, but the reality is Brian Callahan, even though last year was his first year as our head coach, I do believe his hands were tied. It was his first year. He was brought in to train Will Levis, to make him a quarterback machine. And we were supposed to be super excited. And yet, the quarterback position went the other direction. There were some play calls that people even questioned. Some decision makings people questioned. And yes, those things are on him. And he did take responsibility. Yes, he's the coach. At the end of the day, all eyes are going to be on him. And typically, when a team's doing bad, the first thing we do is blame the coach. But, a big but, if we're all being fair, Brian Callahan, I truly believed, didn't have a fair shot last year. What do I mean? Let's think about it. We went into the season with Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, and another quarterback that I honestly don't remember his name. We got rid of Willis, and that ended up coming back to haunt us really bad in that Packers game. There's another elephant in the room we don't want to talk about. That is, we got rid of Derrick Henry last year. Now, before you sit there and roll your eyes and huff and puff and go, Henry was washed, don't. Look what happened last year. And then you'll say, well, he wasn't washed, but he couldn't do it with the Titans. What? This is a pro football team. This isn't some high school, people. Don't give me that the Titans couldn't do nothing with Henry. If you think Henry couldn't do nothing last year for the Titans, you're living in denial. Henry could have done a lot last year. And if Callahan had Henry on the team, look, there's many games we probably could have won. Now, what role did Callahan have with Henry leaving? I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to stay. I don't know. But I think, truly, it'd been nice if we'd said, yeah, you want to go on? How about a raise? Because look what he's done. And I'm telling you right now, we are notorious for letting good players go. What I'm trying to say is, Callahan was set up for failure. Callahan came in on a roster that was at best. Supposedly, we had went and got weapons for Levis, and we had bought into the idea that Callahan was going to come in, whip everybody in shape, and go out there and have an amazing year. And that was not going to happen. We didn't have an O-line. We had no run game. What was Callahan going to work with? He didn't have the tools. You can get somebody who is a great artist, and you can get them into a room. But if there's nothing in the room to work with, they might be able to put some things together, some nice little pieces here or there, but they're never going to be able to make a masterpiece. Yes, they can create some art. They can make something pretty. There were some pretty plays last year. We had some players that did real good last year. There were technically some improvements later in the year. He didn't have the right tools. Now, this year, he should be able to make some noise. He has an O-line, finally. I believe he's focused in on some stuff. I think he's evaluated from last year, and I think going into this year, he may actually be able to prove that he is the coach for the Titans moving forward. He will earn the right to be here for another 3 to 4 or 5 years, and he may even lead us into a new era of Titan football. So Brian Callahan, I'm actually looking forward to. I don't believe last year was all his fault. I believe he can be a competent coach, and I'm excited moving forward. The second thing is we have a weak division. Now, a lot of people are going to say, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, but let's look at it. If you're a Colts fan, I'm sorry. I don't think the Colts are a threat at all. Maybe it's just me, my bias showing. I've never really cared for the Colts. I've never seen the Colts as a threat, as an enemy. I just see them as somebody we play. The Colts games are the games I look for the least in the year. Moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars, yes, they can be a threat, but we've seen that last year they just fell off. They dropped off. Something happened, and I don't know if it's at the quarterback's fault or the team in general, but the Jaguars really, I think this year they're not going to improve. I know they got Travis Hunter. I know they believe that's the missing piece or that's going to help elevate them somehow. And it might, but really, they're still a team at best right now, even with Travis Hunter. And then you get the Texans, the only actual threat I feel like we have in our division. I think they lost some key pieces throughout the offseason. I'm not for sure. So, honestly, our division isn't that strong. Now, what do I mean by that? Yeah, we have some teams that are competent-ish, and they're good-ish. But what I'm saying is we're not going against Green Bay. Green Bay's not in our division. The Buccaneers are not in our division. Kansas City's not in our division. I mean, I'm talking about really our division's kind of weak. And that's good for us. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I don't want the division to be better. I want us to be the top of the division. If anything, I want us to become the Kansas City of our division. So all I'm trying to say is, yes, our division isn't the greatest. And that makes me hopeful that we may even come out on top of our division this year. I know. High expectations. But if you don't have high expectations, what are you doing? Moving on from the terrible division we're in, the third reason that I'm even slightly hopeful for this season, that we may even make it to a playoff game, is the draft class of this year. And yes, that does include Cam Ward. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me over-optimistic. But these guys feel different. First off, they feel like a team. For the first time in a few years, I feel like we have a team. And what do I mean by that? I mean, yeah, we've had teams, but we haven't had brothers on the field. We haven't had that connection on the field. There was no feeling of unity on the field. They just felt like guys wearing jerseys that matched, but they were all just kind of in their own thing, doing their own thing. There was no unison. This draft class felt like they were a unit. Felt like they had a fellowship already going. And I know Xavier was undrafted, but even he fits into this category. They all feel like they're getting along real well and that there's a connection there and that connection is growing into some of the veterans on the team. There's a growing connection there. And so, yes, as players, they're amazing, but as that connection, I guess it really is the third thing more than actually the draft itself is we finally feel like we have a team again. We feel like we got people that want to be out there, that want to play because they love the game. Like Cam said, he realizes you're not going to be doing this for a long time. You better enjoy every moment of it. And I believe that's what this team now has in mind. That we're a family, that we're a team, that we're brothers on the field, and we're going to go out and we're going to play and we're going to try to win. And that should excite you because that excites me. And any other football fan out there would be happy and thrilled to hear that their team is wanting to work together. Because if you don't have a team that works together, you don't have a team. You just got guys that wear the same jersey running around throwing a ball. So anyways, that's the three reasons why I believe the Tennessee Titans have a chance going forward this year. You can disagree. You can say, those are stupid reasons. You're overthinking it. You know, the Titans are terrible. They'll always be terrible. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever. That's your opinion. This is mine. Just remember, always be respectful to people in the comments. You can disagree with me, but try not to argue with them and all that good stuff. We'll have some more videos come out soon, so please stick around for those. I got some other content on this channel, some Christian content, some movie content, so look at that if you will. Anyways, so please like and subscribe. Leave something in the comments, and always remember, tighten up.